Once again, I'm here. I'm in another nigga's state. Arsenal versus Loaded Lux. Some say this is Danielson versus Miyagi. I say it's destiny.
Yo, it's good, y'all. Once again, it's Direct here with Rap Grid to talk about Born Legacy Supreme. Now, before I get into it, I want to shout out everyone who followed us on Twitter for the live tweets. That shit can be difficult to do at times, you know what I mean? So it's good to get so much feedback because that's something we're going to continue to do in the long run. And shout out to everyone else who does it. We see you, man. We see you. But anyway, so let's get into this card. I actually really enjoyed the event, but I thought the back and forths on some of these battles could be better. Just to get it out the way, out the gate. I didn't see Franchise versus Joe, which was the first battle. I'm hearing from everyone it was fire back and forth. Franchise had like a defining moment, so I can't wait to be able to rewatch that. And the second thing was I saw parts of Young Cannon and Jack Boy. Now, what everyone else is saying is that Young Cannon went crazy. He astro projected. He was on another level, and he got Jack Boy up out of there. I saw the whole first round. It seemed like Jack Boy was solid, and Young Cannon, like everyone has been saying, he fucking went off. He went banoodles in that round. He said a dope thing about Diesel and Kevin Nash and get ended with Jack knifed. Like, if you know wrestling, that shit was hard. But I can't speak on the whole battle, and I'm hearing Young Cannon's third round was fucking his craziest round ever. I'm mad I didn't see that round, but shout out to both of them. Maybe when it comes out, I'll do another review. But if you want to go check other reviews and whatever, like everyone is saying, Young Cannon one of the best performances of the event. Okay, so let's get into it, right? Ill Will in New Jersey Twerk. Now going into this battle, I just think Ill Will he's very effective because he knows how to get straight to the point and just beat you. When I tell people how good Ill Will is, something I always refer to is that B Magic battle where you can have all the punchlines in the world and everything, but sometimes it just doesn't matter when someone's coming for your neck. And that's what I appreciate about Ill Will. Whether or not he's having an on night or an off night, he always goes for your neck, and people know I'm a fan of the freestyle shit. So I gotta show him love for that too. Twerk, to me, this was a defining moment because I feel like when you're booking a lot of battles in a row, you have a lot of fanfare. Like that's where your heart and your dedication to the craft starts to show. So we get into the battle. Ill Will go first? I think Twerk went first. If I'm mistaken, correct me in the comments. But Ill Will's first round, crazy. Fuck Twerk up. Blew him out the water. I remember I said on Twitter that, yo, Twerk might still win. And people were tweeting me like, get the fuck out of here. Battle's over. Ill Will washed him. It's going to be like this the whole battle. To a lot of people's surprise, Twerk came back in the second and third round and went crazy. Now, this is where the whole battle changed. Remember, Ill Will clinches the first. Second round, Twerk goes crazy. Ill Will is going crazy, and you're thinking, all right, either Ill Will's gonna steal the round or it's gonna be a tie, and it's gonna be all on this third round. Ill Will stumbled up and messed up a little bit, and it just gave Twerk the edge, and he stole the whole momentum at that point in the battle, and he just took off, and yeah, he won the battle. I mean, I saw a couple people saying Ill Will 2-1 because he had a line towards the end where he said, Twerk, Ryder, and Jack Boy, like y'all got the most paused group names ever. That was ill. Another good moment for Twerk with me is he was like, of course, if you have like DNA on a machete, you have to spray it with sterilizer. Everyone knows DNA spraying the machete line. It was a joke for a little bit, and I give Ill Will credit for remembering the name of the shit in Men in Black that they hold up to make you forget what you just saw. It's called Neuralizer. And I almost quoted a Will Smith bar from it, but I'm not gonna do that. I'm not gonna do it in a battle rap related video. I'm sorry, y'all. But yeah, it's called a Neuralizer. I didn't even remember that shit. So Ill Will must have watched that with his kids recently, or he's a Men in Black fan. But kudos on that. So yeah, Twerk got the battle. And in my opinion, a definitive 2-1. All right, so let's look at Rum Nitty and Chef Trez. Now, even though this wasn't necessarily the best back and forth, in my opinion, as far as highlights go, this was the most exciting battle of the night. Like, I love this battle, and I'll get into it in a second. So, Chef went first, and Chef Trez was solid. Now, I'll bring back this point at the end of me talking about the battle, but I feel like something Chef Trez does is he kind of coasts at times just to show you he's nice. Like, I don't know exactly what Chef's preparation is, but it feels like he's like, all right, I'm gonna write some lines to show you that I'm nice. The crowd gonna be fucking with this, and I'm gonna be happy with my performance, which is good. He's always shows that he's really dope. We all know he's one of the doper young cats. But what Chef needs to do, in my opinion, is start preparing in like a cutthroat manner. Like, really work on taking body bag angles and shit that he really thinks is gonna fuck his opponent up, and just applying more into his strategy than just coming with the dope bars. I think once Chef masters the strategy angle, he's gonna jump to a completely new level because his skill set is already there. But anyway, with that being said, his first was solid, dope, straight through. It kind of felt like Nitty could take the first round because Chef didn't have any crazy ooh and ah like fireworks going off in the air moments. Now Nitty's first was good. It didn't have just like Chef's round. I don't think it had any crazy oh my god lines like that, but I feel like it was a little better than Chef's. And he had a line where he says, it's like there's a hair on my food. Let me talk to the chef. Important. So I give Nitty the first round. Now immediately, Chef Trez gets into rebuttal in the second round. You said something about um a hair on your plate, a hair on the food. Well, it's because I left your wig on the plate. Crowd goes crazy, right? Everybody erupts. Uh, Best rebuttal of the night. Probably yeah, the best rebuttal of the night. At that point, outside of Young Cannon's third, which I didn't see and I was hearing about, to me that was just the best moment of the night. And Chef did crazy, and the whole second round bananas. From that point on, Chef murdered that shit. So I'm looking at it like, okay, it's gonna be 1-1 going into the third because Nitty can't top Chef's second round. It was great. And then here comes Rum Nitty, man. Rum Nitty has a rebuttal of his own. Now, when the whole Goonies versus Team Hami thing was going on, I remember talking to Nitty's mans, and he was telling me that like Nitty wants to freestyle more. And the rebuttal that Nitty had was people always talking about his Jordans, the Struggle 12s or whatever, and he basically said like 40 got a recoil what was it just like them Jordans, the kick is unreal. People went crazy. In my opinion, it wasn't as good as Chef's rebuttal. That shit was crazy, but it did enough to get Nitty back in the game because he didn't have the momentum at that point. Yo, Nitty's second round, oh my god, he had the line of the night. Like at the end of all our live tweeting or whatever, we go up there and we say, here was a most quoted bar, like the most retweets, the most likes. It was the bar where Rum Nitty said, he was like, Paula Dean, one nigga can fuck up Chef whole career. Yo, maybe bar of the night, crazy. So after Nitty's second round, I have to say he was up 2-0. I didn't think he could beat Chef second, but Nitty went noodles, man. And I feel bad because a lot of people are saying that Chef hasn't been winning too many battles on URL, but he's had good performances, and I feel like right at a point where he could have just snatched around, it got taken from him by Nitty just going on another level. Round three, Chef tried to hit us with two of them things. They didn't work. Then he tried to do three of them things. It didn't work, and it just fucked up his whole everything. If he came out the gate with the fire rebuttal in the third, uh, people would really be talking about the battle a little bit differently. They might have said Nitty still won, but it was like the craziest battle ever and everything. But his rebuttals in the third kind of messed him up. Second half of his third was real good. Then he dropped another rebuttal, which did work, but it was a too little, too late type situation. And after that, Nitty basically coasted to the win. He had a ridiculousness bar that everybody was quoting, everybody was going crazy for. So it's kind of looking like a Nitty 3-0. I think that doesn't speak to how good Chef was for the first two rounds, but Nitty might have got that 3-0, no body bag, just a solid fuck up. I don't. Yeah, if you get body bag, you die. If you get fucked up, you live to see another day. So that was a fuck up. Mike P and Big T. I know this battle was hyped up. I heard some shit talking going on, and it was talked about for a while. I think Smack was excited to see the battle. Mike P went first, and he had some solid shit, but it was some discrepancy with the round times going on with where Big T was saying he went 3 minutes and 10 seconds or 20 seconds instead of 3, and he wanted them to enforce the time because his shit was 3, and it just it made it a little bit awkward, and it didn't fuck the battle up, but you could tell that it kind of fucked up Mike's momentum at different times throughout the battle. So it made for some underwhelming moments. He said the K's going back and forth like I put the screw in the tuna, and people were like, "Yo, what does that mean?" If you don't, it's from Keenan and Kale. 2K's Keenan and Kale. The scene where Kale was in court and he started, I put the screw in the tuna. If you don't remember that, you either just not in our age group or you just didn't fuck with Keenan and Kale. I don't know what to say. But anyway, Big T had a big bar in the first round, which like he was gonna shoot him or something, and now Mike's all over the stage like a Wu-Tang show. I think Big T in the first round just had some bigger lines like that one. Second round, well, let me just do it like this, because I felt like Mike P had strong bars, but this time thing fucked up his momentum, and they both had highs and lows. Like, there was time where the crowd was like, nah, we're not reacting to that, and then, oh, that was fire, on both sides. But it just felt to me like Big T was just in control of the ship the whole time. I don't know if it was the time thing, or I don't know if he just seemed to get, like, some more reactions. Like, there was a time where he did the La Cucaracha and shaking like maracas, and he was dancing, and you know when he does that shit, people like it. And he took an angle on Mike P about like, you white, you can't say nigga. I forget what he was saying, but it was working. And I think on camera it might work against him because, you know, a lot of fans were saying like, oh, Big T is like using that as a crutch to get reaction in the building, but Mike P shit was more solid. Like, now my reaction is Big T won. It's not really a knock against Mike P. It was just the battle was weird because of the time. He did said something about like slash and then sit down or something like Yoshimitsu. That was towards the end. That was hard, but yeah, I don't. It was a weird battle. Like, maybe it would have been better on a different event or in a small room or something like that. But I think Big T got it. But I think on camera, when you have time to rewind Mike P a million times and dissect everything that he says, more people are gonna say he won. But I feel like the majority of people thought that Big T won in the building, but the whole thing was underwhelming. So I'll say T 2-1. Now, I was disappointed because I wanted to see Reed Dollaz and Clean Paper battle for real. Like, I was hyped for that shit. Like, I'm a big Reed Dollaz fan, and people who know me know I'm like all nostalgic, and I like seeing the older dudes come back. I just really like his style, and I think at a time where we puzzle rapping, this is the greatest thing is someone who comes simple, aggressive, and of course like that Philly shit. Like, Philly needs to be more prominent on huge stages in battle rap. So I wanted to see that. I heard he had an emergency. Clean even said his prayers go out to Reed. I don't think Reed is one to not show up for any reason, but I don't know him personally. So let's just go with that. Hopefully it gets rebooked. No one said anything about it, but I want to see Clean on 10, and I want to see Reed on 10, no matter who they go against. So hopefully they set that up. Last battle of the night. You have JC versus Chess. Now, JC, I don't know if it's just because he's done great, like 80 battles in a row, but ever since he battled Chilla, people understood how good he was. He just seemed to get bad breaks, like the Young Ill battle, and then like them not letting people in the venue, that whole event getting canceled, and it just seemed like his timing was fucked up. And another thing about JC is I feel like his marketing and stuff like that. Like, unfortunately, we live in a time where people pay attention to what you dress like and what you do and who got Gucci's and who got Louis. Like, I feel like if JC dressed like Conceited, he would have already been on the big stage because fans would have paid more attention to him. You know what I mean? But he's more like I feel like he just reminds me of like a hardcore underground lyricist as far as style goes, and I feel like his shit screams that. So he has a lot of loyal fans, but it's just not your average kid or female off the street is like a huge JC fan, even knows about JC. But I feel like that puts the battery in his back to go hard every single battle. Now, with that being said, he was fire in this shit. This was his time to step up and prove that he not. We all know he's top tier talent wise, but that he can translate that top tierness to a big crowd and get everyone talking. I feel like all the top level people in battle rap have found a way to get thousands of people just talking about them and requesting them to battle other top level opponents. And I knew JC set out to prove his point and kind of start the new wave of his career with this battle because it was the perfect stage. And with Clean and Reed not going down, this was the true main event. Now, the first JC did really good. The thing that I said this on Twitter, and a lot of people seem to agree with me, is that a lot of people get called for time in the middle of their round and they start yelling and complaining. It's not because you didn't write a 3-minute round or close to 3 minutes. It's because you repeat every bar and the clock gets stopped and stopped with timing and shit. You know what I mean? So you write a 3-minute round, and if your shit's fire, it's gonna go 7 fucking minutes with crowd reaction. JC keeps it moving. He stops. He lets you react. If he feels like it's necessary to repeat a line, he might repeat it, but for the most part, he keeps it moving. And I feel like that's a special skill and talent as a performer that you need to have as a battle rapper, and not a lot of these guys do that shit. So kudos to JC for knowing when to keep it moving, when to repeat himself, and just mastering his stage performance at this point in his career. Now, first round, Chess, he had a dope line where he said cause JC's name is Julian. He said Julian, it don't matter what jewel he in, and then the whole chain thing and the dance for Chris Stokes. He brought all that shit together. That was his dopest bar of the first, one of the dopest bars of the first round. But JC got the first. Now, it was consistent. It wasn't super Kamehamehas, but he set the tone at a very high level, and I think Chess's first round was a little under that. Now, second round, JC starts going off to the point where the crowd is like, oh my God, like, leave him alone. He had a line where he said, the pump will sit you down in the air like you zip lining. From that point on, everyone was like, yo, unless Chess goes noodles and brings the ultimate struggle bar booster pack to the battle, it might be over. Now, Chess, he was going and he was going good, but he stumbled, and that stumble fucked him up. You could really see in Chess's face, and it was like two little stumbles and then a big one or something, but it fucked his whole momentum up. Yeah. Now a lot of people saying Chess does this every battle. Now, even though Chess has had like his stumbles or throwing up stuff in battles, I don't really hold it against him because I feel like if you're watching a performance, it's like if for you guys who know I'm talking about producing and shit. Sometimes a perfect performance is like quantizing your drums. You know what I'm saying? Like it's good. It might be expected, but it's kind of mechanical. Sometimes when you have like what Loaded Lux did against Calico, like I didn't want him to choke, but when he did and then he came back, it made it more epic. It made it more of something you want to talk about. If someone comes in and says, "Oh, he just bodied him," and that's the end of the story. Like what is that? Like, oh, well, he bodied him and then he came back. It just makes to me, it just makes it for a better show. So that's why when you have battles like Chess versus Av, I don't really get on Chess for his first round because I like the comeback so much. But in this battle, he stumbled and Chess fucked that up. I could tell he was hurt. He was kind of like, fuck, man, like fuck. Like I could tell that JC is somebody that even though he doesn't have 89 million view battles out, people want to show how good they are as writers against him. And I think now you have to show how good you are as a performer against JC. The third round, JC did this chess scheme, and if Smack was chess, what square would you be upon? Be upon, and just JC just murdered that shit. I don't even want to tell you all JC's lines, but I know there's a point with JC. Towards the end, he was hitting him with line after line after line, and people were going nuts for every single bar. And then he just kind of was like, all right, bro, it's over. It's done. I don't even know if he got through his whole round, but I could think he could feel like, all right, I won. It's over. Like I said, man, it's just a testament to how good JC is, and he's coming into his own. Something I forgot to say is JC, and in the second round, he's like, I need Lux. Give me Lux. And usually people are like, yeah, fuck out of here. Or you get someone in the crowd like, yo, he'll kill you. Shut up. The whole crowd was like, yeah, get JC Lux. So I feel like that's going to be the biggest thing. Now, for some of y'all who out there who don't agree that JC deserves Lux because Lux is a big star, think about it like this. URL should do a card called like I deserve this, or like give me my spot. I don't know, some shit. I can't think of a good name right now. But they should come up with a card where the whole point is you take the most famous battle rappers with the biggest fan base that are good, you know what I'm saying, that are just known, and you put them against somebody who really wants to gun for their spot, and you create a fucking atmosphere like Summer Madness 2. Let JC go against Lux. You know what I'm saying? Mook and Surf would have been good for that. Obviously, they can't do that. But do some shit like that. Let Hollow go against somebody, you know what I mean, with comparable styles, and just see if they can take their spot. Like, I would love to see a joint like that. Maybe not a Summer Madness, but a card built like that, perfect. But anyway, Chess's third round, he was spitting fire. He fucked up, and he just at a point, and he just stumbled, man. Like, I think JC would have won no matter what. It was just his day, but Chess could have made it like a fire battle. But JC 3-0, no debating. I want to see him against Lux. I'm sorry. Now, this is the last thing I want to say is that these battles, even though they look good on paper, some of these guys are just battling too much. Like, URL is using them over and over again. They've done a good job of implementing some of the proving ground dudes, but I feel like certain people like Briz, T-Top, Nitty, Av, Chess, like, just, they should battle half as much. Why? Because if you're writing for Summer Madness and Born Legacy at the same time, if you can pull it off, good for you. You know what I'm saying? But, like, you don't want to put that pressure on everybody. Like, you want people to come with A1 crisp performances. And, like, I think JC is battling Nitty at Summer Madness. If one of them fucked up, that deflates that battle 100%. Like imagine if Av never battled Old Red and he was just now coming back from the whole "oh you stole bars" thing at Summer Madness. It's a bigger story to me. You know what I'm saying? You give people that anticipation, you make them wait, and you build it up, and you actually put marketing into the plan instead of just booking the battle because it's big names. Like I feel like that's what URL should focus on at this point. But thank God JC and Rum Nitty were fire because that sets the stage for their battle to be crazy. I don't even want either one of them to lose that battle. I just hope it's just tied the whole way because, like, I fuck with them so heavy at this point. And Rum Nitty, just like being booked over and over again, like, he's obviously dope, but I didn't know if he'd have it in him to pull out a dub against Chef Trez and then battle in Summer Madness. I'm glad he had it in him. Yeah. So bar tonight was a Paula Dean thing. Best battle. I guess as far as back and forth, I hear the franchise was good. You got to go Ill Will and Twerk just as far as like it being competitive the whole time and there not being a clear winner. Performance of the night. I almost gave it to Rum Nitty, but mind you, I didn't see Cannon's whole shit, but what I saw, he was crazy. From what I'm hearing, you got to give it to Cannon, Nitty. But JC might top everybody just because the way, like if you go on Twitter right now or you go on one of the Facebook groups and look at how people are talking about JC, like I feel like this is the pinnacle of his like stardom or his fandom. Like people are really on his side right now, and I think he did a great job at taking advantage of it. So with that being said, that is my Born Legacy Supreme recap. Yo, listen, I know sometimes I'm boring because I do these fucking recaps when I'm tired. That's why I didn't do this last night. Thank you for watching this shit. I'm not gonna be boring.